Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Master of Ceremonies from The Price is Right, Mr. Rich Field.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first ever induction ceremony for the Game Show Hall of Fame. Being from The Price is Right, anytime I get out in front of a public audience or any speaking engagements, I have a feeling there's folks out there in the audience that want to hear me call their name and say, "Come on down!" Yeah, but that ranks right up there at number one. I think number two would be they want to hear me say, "It's a new car!" But that's not going to happen today, because today we're here to talk about game shows. Since the dawn of radio and television, they've been a part of our way of life. Game shows have entertained us, they've made us laugh, they've educated us, and they've even touched us. The names, the faces, the games immediately ring bells and buzzers. The fun is contagious and memorable. Over the years, millions of dollars have been won by thousands of contestants on hundreds of our favorite game shows. As big money quiz shows fell like the mighty Goliath during the late 50s, during the carefree 60s, we'd see a different type of game show. A new decade, as well as a new viewing audience, brought us new MCs, such as our award winners today, like Mr. Hugh Downs. Yes. Monty Hall. Peter Marshall. The Winker, Wink Martindale. And Merv Griffin. Bob Eubanks, too, got started with his classic Newlywed Game. Everybody remembers Newlywed Game. This elite group of award winners would continue to dominate the small screen for some 4 decades. And it's clear to see that game shows have come a long way since the days of Uncle Jim's Question Bee. How many are old enough to remember that one? Not many hands going up out there, are there? No. Uncle Jim's Question Bee. Not only have game shows become a phenomenon in the United States, their appeal stretches worldwide. Today, we celebrate these top icons who have helped to shape and create the genre that we all know and love. It is with great pleasure that I'm here today, along with Bob Eubanks, Jamie Farr, and Chuck Woolery, to introduce Hugh Downs, or to induct Hugh Downs, Monty Hall, Peter Marshall, and Wink Martindale into the first American Game Show Hall of Fame at the Hilton Hotel here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Along with a special tribute to Mr. Merv Griffin. Yes. Let's take a quick look back right now at some game show history.
There's one television genre that has it all.
Game shows have been with us for a long, long time, and they're going to continue to watch game shows because people love to see people win, love to be a part of the game at home.
There's no better form to make you yell at the TV, shout out an answer, relate to the contestants, be a part of the show, wish you were on the show. I mean, it's the ultimate in wish fulfillment, dream come true.
There's nothing more basic, recreation-wise, than game shows. You know, they were Rolling Stones in the cave, just like they are today in Las Vegas.
It does draw you in. I mean, I defy you to walk past the set and not play along when we're playing.
People, your time starts now.
A group of pill pushers?
This is Wheel of Fortune!
For over 70 years, game shows have kept us entertained. Radio.
You had to have audio, bells, and buzzers, and winning sounds.
And then TV.
The sets became extravagant, and the contestants, everything about it, had to be produced because it was very visual.
And although the landscape's always changing, the puzzle boards still light up the airwaves each night.
Shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune are the best kind of reality television.
Not all game shows are created equal. Some get our wheels spinning.
Not all game shows are, dumb shows. Some of them are not only enjoyable, but very educational.
Some just make us laugh.
Will your husband say he is basically more urban or rural?
I don't know what they mean. Can't
He's urban.
He's urban.
Yeah.
How long has he been that way?
For about 2 months.
2 months he's been. Do you think there's anything he can do about it?
He went to a doctor.
Oh, he did?
Newlywed Game is a comedy show that happened to have a game. We figured out very early that the funniest people in the world are John and Mary Jones.
The doctor give him anything for his urban?
He gave me something.
Well, let's get to some of the inductions for today, shall we? He was a butcher's boy from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And he longed to become a doctor. Instead, he became an actor, a singer, sportscaster, and creator and host of a television show that would become an American classic, Let's Make a Deal. Hosted by Monty Hall, who created the show with his partner, Stephen Haydos. It was in production for over 5 decades, moving from NBC, then I think to ABC, and then into syndication after that. Appearing both in daytime and prime time, and dominating both time slots. Let's Make a Deal may be Monty's best known work, but his career, which spans the entire second half of the past century, reaches from the stage to radio to television and charity. His philanthropic circles encompass all kinds of charities. Monty's known for his longtime support of countless charities, over 60 years worth of fundraising with Monty, including Variety Clubs International, which he holds a lifetime title of International Chairman. He has children's wings named for him at Hahnemann Hospital, UCLA Medical Center, Mount Sinai in Toronto, and Johns Hopkins. Listen to this statistic. Monty has raised over $800 million for charities. That deserves a huge round of applause. Monty has truly made the world a better place.
Monty had what television in its infancy was desperate for: good looks and charisma in front of the camera. After months of memos, meetings, and telephone calls, he landed his first steady job in television. In December 1955, Monty was hired to host a struggling game show called The Sky's the Limit. In 1958, WABD Channel 5, an independent New York station, hired Monty to host Bingo at Home. The show invited viewers and a studio audience to win by matching their telephone numbers with the numbers Monty drew on the show.
Once again under the beam, man alive, number 5.
Bingo ran less than a year, and even Hall felt it was boring.
You are first off on ABC.
At the time, ABC had the fewest viewers of all the networks. Many in the industry predicted the move would be a disaster. Instead, Let's Make a Deal helped build ABC into a daytime powerhouse.
The others contain $2 each.
In the summer of 1973, only the Watergate hearings attracted a larger daytime audience.
It was a very hard show to do, and there was so much activity backstage. I mean, it was unbelievable. I had a dressing room on stage, and I had a dresser, and I literally had 30 seconds to make my changes in between deals, because I wore a different outfit per deal.
It's at least 7, she says. And if you'd have taken 2, that was 7 to get.
I was like Sugar Ray Robinson. I was the champ. And every night when I went out to do those shows, I was going to retain my championship.
But I guarantee you that you'll never forget the day you gave away 3 cars.
He talks like he's in your own living room.
He felt he had that ego in him that said that I'm as good, if not better, than those who are on the air today. I can do it better. And proof of the pudding was he did.
Congratulations.
Well, tonight we're honoring Monty Hall. I'm not asking you to laugh or applaud during this roast. Just try to stay awake. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank my guests for joining us, and I especially want to thank our man of the week, Mr. Monty Hall. Monty is really a legend in his own time. They're already comparing him to Durwood Kirby.
In this heart of mine, you live all the time. Sweet Sue, just you.
Mr. Hall is a little under the weather and is homebound in Los Angeles this afternoon, so he's asked his very good friend, Mr. Bob Eubanks, to accept on his behalf. Nice round of applause for Mr. Bob Eubanks. Oh, thank you all very much. Monty really should be getting an award for humanitarian because in his life, he's raised over $800 million for charities, which is just incredible. And in 1970, I bought a ranch up in the San Ynez Valley. Took every darn dime I had, paid $120,000 for it. And Monty had just been joining me on the nighttime ABC program. I said, Monty, I need some help. I'm in serious debt. I owe $120 on this ranch. He says, don't you worry about it, kid. I'll take care of you. And he did for the next 5 years. He's an incredible human being. I talked to him yesterday, and he broke 2 ribs. He was at UCLA walking along, reading a script, and he didn't see the curb. And, you know, this age thing is a real pain in the neck. But I accept this award for one of the nicest men in the world. And as I said, a true humanitarian. And nobody deserves to be in any Hall of Fame more than Monty Hall. God bless and thank you. Mr. Bob Eubanks, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Marshall's career has demonstrated a versatility and flexibility that few entertainers can show. He's been a big band singer, part of a comedy team, performed in legitimate theater on Broadway, performed in concerts and nightclub circuits, both as a solo performer and for over 10 years with a group he formed called Chapter 5, and has appeared in movies and on television. He's covered it all. Peter Marshall is probably best known as the 5-time Emmy Award-winning host of some 5,000 editions of the popular game show Hollywood Squares over a period of 16 years. Truly remarkable. He was born Pierre Lecoq in Huntington, West Virginia. Yeah. Let me say it again, Pierre Lecoq. While still a teen, I'm sorry, Peter. While still a teen, he moved to New York City where he landed a job as a page for NBC. He'll never let me forget that, by the way. We play golf in Palm Springs all the time. I know he's going to add a few slashes to my scorecard next time, and I don't need that, that's for sure. While still a teen, he moved to New York City where he landed a job as a page for NBC, worked his way on up with fellow MC and friend Gene Rayburn. Both pages, yes. Peter would star on Broadway, playing the leading roles in Skyscraper, Anything Goes, La Cage aux Folles, among many others. Hollywood Squares is where Peter had the chance to meet and greet many of America's top stars, such as Helen Hayes, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, Sammy Davis Jr., Milton Berle, Johnny Carson, and countless others. Take a look at this.
Today's woman, Ms. Barbara Walters, and a man for all reason, Mr. Peter Marshall.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, Barbara. It's a beautiful day in New York, right? Yes. I thank you very, very much, and I'm sure I speak for my co-host as well in expressing my thanks for being asked to participate in the very first Emmy Awards show, honoring daytime television.
One of these stars is sitting in the secret square, and the contestant who picks it first could win a prize package worth over $9,000. Which star is it? James Coco. From TV soap, Robert Montan. George Gobel, Diane and Peggy Lennon. From WKRP in Cincinnati, Richard Sanders, Leah Zadora, Mark and Mindy Composton, Kathy and Janet Lennon, or David Brenner, all in the Hollywood Squares. And here's the master of the Hollywood Squares, Peter Marshall. Thank you very much.
The nominees for Best Host or hostess of the year are Emmy winners in their respective categories, and they are, Jackie.
For a game show, Peter Marshall, Hollywood Squares, NBC.
And for a talk, variety, or service show, Dinah Shore, Dinah's Place, NBC. The winner, Jacqueline.
The winner is Peter Marshall, Hollywood Squares, NBC.
Hey, what a neat thing. Boy, is it good to lose. Dinah, I love you, and we were talking about this before the show. And you're my favorite, and I'll love you always and always. Thank you, my dear. And good luck on your new show, my dear. All righty? Thank you.
Largest tuna fishing fleets in the world operates out of... I'm sorry. I know it's important, and I'm sorry. I must destroy this question, Elaine, but I must read it, though. One of the largest tuna fishing fleets in the world. Sorry, I really am. We'll have a commercial. We'll be right back.
Warm welcome for the one and only Mr. Peter Marshall. Well, I'll bet you thought I was dead, didn't you? Here I am. Isn't this a nice thing? Hall of Fame for all of us old guys. I'm just so proud. I wish Monty could have been here. Did you explain why Monty wasn't here? Yeah, yes. He keeps falling a lot. Well, last year, Monty went to, it's just a true story. We're very close friends. He went to get a physical, and as a physical, he's putting on his pants, he fell and he broke his hip. So anyway, no, I'm very quite honored. It says to Peter Marshall in recognition of whatever the hell it is I do. But anyway, you know, I've worked Vegas all my life. I opened the Desert in 1950 with my late partner Tommy Noonan, and Vegas has been very wonderful to me, and television has been terrific to me, and I'm just so happy to be able to accept something, and this, I'm very proud to have this. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Peter Marshall, everybody. Peter Marshall, everybody. We didn't have rehearsal. We got so drunk last night we missed rehearsal today, so God bless you. Let us continue. He has hosted more game shows than anyone except Bill Cullen, 19 of them to be exact. He's appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show, where he introduced his million-seller recording, The Deck of Cards. He knew Elvis Presley before Elvis was even famous. He was a local DJ in Memphis, and Elvis was then just a truck driver. His name is synonymous with MC, classic MC that is, and that name is Winston Conrad Martindale, or better known to us, and all his millions of fans, as Wink Martindale. After hosting his first network game show, What's This Song?, Wink found his niche. In the years since What's This Song?, Wink has hosted an impressive array of shows including Tic-Tac-Dough, Gambit, High Rollers, and Death, among others. He's been in front of the camera for over 40 years. Most recently, the Winker's been the spokesman for Orbitz, the nationally known travel company. In June of last year, Wink was honored with his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yes. In the world of game shows, you can't spell the word wink without the word win.
Everybody's game of strategy, knowledge, and fun. It's Tic-Tac-Dough. And here's the man with all the action, Wink Martindale.
What is the only tree koala bears will eat from in the wild?
Eucalyptus?
Why, of course.
a sea of bills? Then it's time to play Bet. The game show where 3 debt-laden Americans just like you compete to have us pay off all their bills and go home with nothing.
Please welcome Wink Martindale.
Please welcome our buddy Wink Martindale. Wink, come on out here. Wink Martindale, there you go. Hi, Wink, how are you? Oh, look at that.
And here's a Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale!
Who would be your hero? Would it be Pat Sajak, maybe? I would model myself after Wink Martindale.
Oh, Wink, I like him too. That sounds great.
Wink, is the name. You just can't beat the name. You just can't. Wink Martindale.
Name set of verbs for 200.
Mr. Martindale. Or what he might do if he likes you. Paula.
What is Wink? Is Wink his real name?
Everybody has been asking, is Wink your real name?
No, actually, Winston is my real name. Winston Conrad Martindale.
What is this?
Man flirty?
I give up. Maybe you better watch this instead. Did you consider getting married again, is what I mean?
Oh, I have 4 boyfriends.
You're kidding. 4 boyfriends?
I get up in the morning with willpower. I go for a walk with arthritis. I come home with Charlie Horse, and I go to bed at night with Ben Gay.
If you could wake up tomorrow and change one quality in Joanne, what would that be?
She's a pain in the ass in the morning.
Teddy Roosevelt's foreign policy was...
Run and shoot. The wishbone. Crazy legs hurt. The buttonhole. Normal luck. The Providence stamp.
Easy to find the right hotel at a great price.
Warren, Las Vegas Hills, welcome for Mr. Wink Martindale. You met my father, Peter Marshall, here. He'll get me for that. He'll get me for that. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and I don't know where my wife is. I want to thank her first of all. Sandy, where are you seated? Oh, she's already standing. You can never tell. She's so short. Anyway, stand up, Sandy. Yeah. She's my best friend in life. Married for 32 years, and I never start anything. It's part of our marriage contract. Find me in the audience and say hello and introduce me. She dated Elvis for 6 years before I ever met her. Of course, you see who won that battle. It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you, all of you, for being here in the audience today. It's quite an honor to be one of the first inductees into the Game Show Hall of Fame. And I'd just like to say thanks to a couple of people, a couple of producers who gave me the opportunity to do something that I always wanted to do in my life. Dan Enright and the late Jack Barry, both of them are no longer with us, but they gave me the opportunity to do Tic-Tac-Toe for almost 10 years. And of course, the late Merv Griffin gave me the chance to produce a show with him. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Merrill Heater and Bob Quigley. Merrill is still very much with us, and Bob is no longer with us, but they gave me the opportunity to do High Rollers and Gambit, Las Vegas Gambit. And to all of you, though, who watched all of our shows, without you, we wouldn't have a regular job. And thank you so much for liking Game Shows and for watching over the years. God bless you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Wink Martindale. Merv Griffin died during the first weeks of production on his latest game show, Merv Griffin's Crosswords. And to show you part of the wit of Merv, or just the way his mind works, one of the last directives was to tell his new host, Ty Treadway, to change his hairstyle. The syndicated strip runs in every one of the 50 top markets in the country. That's 97% of the country. Ty was going to be with us here today, but unfortunately couldn't make it back from Chicago. Merv loved word games. He based Wheel of Fortune Still the #1 show in syndication history after 32 years. He based that on the game Hangman. We all played that as kids. And he played it with his sister Barbara as a child. Jeopardy was developed in 1964, just after the scandalous revelations that quiz shows had been giving the answers to popular contestants. So Jeopardy offered a new twist, giving the answers and asking the contestants to supply the questions. Merv Griffin discovered television game shows and they him in the beginning of the 1960s. That's when the most successful game show producers at the time, Mark Goodson and Bill Todman, tapped him to host the pilot of a show called Play Your Hunch. It took 6 months to sell the show, and Merv honed his hosting skills by filling in for Carl Reiner on Keep Talking and Bud Collier on To Tell the Truth. Over the years, Merv created many other game shows, including Word for Word, 1 in a Million, Joe Garagiola's Memory Game, Let's Play Post Office, Reach for the Stars, and Click. That's a computer-inspired game show aimed at kids with the young adults. It's hosted by Ryan Seacrest. During his lifetime, Merv Griffin was honored with 17 Emmys and 32 nominations. Many recognize his achievements in the game show genre, particularly Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! It is a privilege to induct Merv Griffin into the TV Game Show Hall of Fame today as a tribute to his formidable achievements.
Did you spit that out of your mouth?
For 23 years, he hosted his own talk show, perfecting the art of the schmooze with the likes of Sophia Loren.
You know that I'm in love with you.
Well, I suspected it. But how do we tell Carlo?
We don't.
Born in California in 1925 to a middle-class Irish family that struggled during the Depression, Merv Griffin has always worked hard. He learned to play the piano at 4, started singing in church, and at age 20 got his first big break. His gift of gab helped him talk his way into a series of jobs on radio and television, ending up as the host of a game show which happened to shoot in the same studio that Jack Parr used for the old Tonight Show. One day, Parr accidentally barged in while Griffin was on live.
I